Hello and welcome to the Five Things Podcast, a podcast wherein we talk about 5 things. This week, you thought we were kidding last week. We were not. This week is 5 tag team wrestling ideas. A joke topic that has become a real topic that has also become one that I think is going to be really difficult to figure out who gets to go first.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I think maybe you just go first because I have gone first last, I think, 3 episodes we've recorded, if I recall correctly. Because I'm just the best at picking the topic thing.
Tell you what, you can go first if you have the most robots on your list.
Oh man, you have. I have 0 robots.
I definitely got you beat. I have multiple robots. I started to really put together that all my tag team ideas were just the same idea over and over again, and I had to really force myself to diversify. So yeah, I will happily go first. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good one, or terrible, because we don't have like notes of like history or things other people have done. It's gonna literally just be shit that we thought was kind of funny.
I don't know anything about wrestling. I've never seen wrestling. I watched 1 episode
You've
of
never
that.
seen wrestling? Not
No,
even like
I've
on
watched,
accident.
I've watched 1 like 20-minute set of whatever that new wrestling is that's popular but isn't WWE, because it was on in a bar I was at last January 2020, before the end of the world happened. And that's all the wrestling I've ever seen in my life. And I've played the Nintendo 64 games a couple of times.
I mean, it's not nothing. I watched wrestling a ton when I was a kid. Probably should have broken my neck several times, like suplexing each other on the playground. I get the appeal. I didn't like. There's like that middle ground in life where like wrestling becomes not cool, and then you go like, it becomes cool, but for different reasons. Like, I think wrestling is hilarious, not because of the actual fighting, but because of like just giant men pretending to act is great.
No, I think wrestling is awesome. I've just never gotten into it for some reason. I think it's hilarious. As you mentioned,
Yeah.
I think the whole idea is fun, and I've seen people do it. When I was in California on a trip at one point, there were these amateur wrestlers. They just had like a rink set out in the middle of this like fair that was going on in the middle of the street. California's a weird place. Go there.
Wait, hold on.
There were these.
Hey, thanks for the subscribe.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Air horns. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I went to San Diego, and there was a guy dressed up as like a super muscular but disgustingly greasy Ronald McDonald.
This is
I
Ronald
can't
McDonald.
remember what he called himself. Yeah, no, but it was like even more so. He had like a big hairy gut. And it was one character, and I don't remember who the other guy was, but they were wrestling, and they were showing you like how you do the moves, and like how like you bounce off of stuff together. It was super cool, and I've wanted to do it ever since.
Man, well,
it was just so much fun.
Hopefully after this episode we'll have our gimmick, and we'll be able to break out into the amateur professional wrestling circuit. I don't know what you call professional wrestling. Is kind of like porn stars. Like, they call it professionally if you're not getting paid. You're all stars, even though like really only there's like 1,000 of you, but we can only name like 3. But yeah, I think we're gonna get some good ones on this. So anyway,
number 5.
My number 5, inspired by BattleBots.
Okay.
I think it'd be very funny if one of us dressed up as a pots and pans robot, and the other person pretended to be the engineer that built that robot. And then, it's just real steel. But you just go out and you're like, you do pots and pans robot fighting, like Rock'em Sock'em, and then like you tag out, and like the engineer has to go and like try to fight, but doesn't really know how to. But he's got like a wrench in his pocket. Yeah. But I love this idea. 1, because it's very wacky. 2, if it becomes popular, I would love for like maybe after like a year or so of like really building a base, whoever has to play the robot like takes off their cardboard box head, revealing themselves to be a real person, to the shock,
a real man,
to the shock of the engineer who built him, and him just being like, "You're just not a very good engineer. Like, you're just bad at making robots, but we felt bad, so I decided to be a robot for you." And then like that's like the split up of the team. But then when that happens, somebody dressed as a much better robot enters the ring. And then that's the flip. And then the engineer's like, I never needed you anyway. And then WrestleBot like 5000 runs out and like beats the shit out of WrestleBot 4000 in the ring.
This is yeah, we have to have somebody that comes in as like my defender. There's the Time Splitters. There's a character like that where it's a guy just in cardboard robot armor who thinks he's a robot. Instead of having the engineer, the new person can be the psychiatrist that has to talk me out of being a robot for the rest of my life. They come in and they hit you with over the head with the chaise lounge.
It's just a constant back and forth of like plot twists. It's just like an engineer and a robot. The robot's a person, but the engineer's a psychiatrist. And then like the guy pretending to be a robot is actually like, I don't know, something else. And then like the psychiatrist is now like some other, like it's just like a constant back and forth where it's like you go through 10 wrestling personalities over the course of one match trying to like figure out what's actually happening.
But wait, it was me, your stepwife.
Stepwife, what are you doing? Step pots and pants robot, what are you doing? Beep boop. Beep boop, what are you? Oh wait, hold on. I think I might actually have a fun voice.
Beep boop.
It's pretty good. Just a speaker in the helmet.
I think it's good. I think it's a strong contender. Maybe on the maybe pile, but definitely like for the first idea of the night, I think it's a good one.
I agree. My number 5 is I think you might be on the wrong slide, Dan. According to Google, it shows you on the wrong one.
It just says, are yours reversed?
No, now you're on it. We're good. My number 5 is IPA and man bun. We do like the thing where it's Stone Cold Steve Austin where he would.
This is just my idea again.
Light.
You're just a rounder metal thing.
There we go. But we could just both be just like terrible hipsters. I will of course keep these glasses. One of us has to get a man bun. One of us has to wear a blouse. The other one of us has to wear like a button-up shirt, but just unbuttoned into like capri pants and sandals. And instead of cracking, like I think it's Natter Days that he does. Whatever is it, Bush Light? Wrestling fans are gonna hate this episode. But we just go.
It's Coors. It's Coors. You're thinking of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's Coors, and he smashes them together. And
But Coors sounded just weird because Coors is, I don't know. I felt like it was a different beer. Coors it is though, but instead we do local IPAs only.
God, that would be the commitment to the kayfabe of having to chug a local like IPA like that would be the worst. If anything, that's where the respect would come from. Like they would boo us and hate us, but they were like, no, dude, that guy chugs a full ass like 180 IBU beer in the ring and then fights a guy for 30 minutes. Like you got to respect that.
The fact that this puke is literally a miracle. My number 5 was almost back end boy and front end friend. We just dress up as silly 50s superheroes with like JavaScript across our chest.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I also was gonna make a tag team that was just us being us. But it was just mediocre white men was the name of our team.
Yeah. But I just wanted one of us to be called Back End Boy because that sounds really funny.
I'm sure you would love. You know what? I don't know. Like if we have to pick who Back End Boy is, I feel like
it's gonna be a coin toss.
That's a not it.
I will happily be Back End Boy.
I'm sure you will. We're gonna get a lot of like angry mothers groups for this tag team. Also, bold going for liftoff and not just PBR. Although I guess PBR is the hipster beer is sort of a passe thing, right? It's no longer.
But I wanted to specifically go with an IPA that we both liked to drink because I feel like the man bun and IPA goes together.
I suppose that's true.
Like yeah.
But like it's wrestling though, so like
extra level. Yeah, that's my number. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we wouldn't do liftoff. We would have to make up a fake beer that was like some crazy over the top beer, and that's what we drink. Like it's like our Popeye spinach.
Yeah.
Like we would fight with our longboards and get our asses kicked, and then one of us would like find a cooler and pull out some crazy ass thing and chug it. And then pull it an even longer board and beat someone with it.
It's just a surfboard with caster wheels on one end.
There's a Salesforce SVP who owns one of those. He built an electric surfboard that like lights up. He rides it around Burning Man.
It's amazing.
We could have just been, dude. Tech Bros is not on my list, and I'm so upset that it isn't. I want to dress up like a billionaire who pretends to be poor, and then fight people.
Isn't that just what happens on Wall Street bets?
I mean, pretty much.
Was there a whole political hearing about that? GameStop.
Hey, we just like the
Elon
stock.
Musk was there.
All right.
Number 4.
Speaking of fighting the rich, I propose we both dress up like as Vikings. We wheel a trebuchet down the runway with us, and we yeet the rich. There are so many professional wrestling, not as much now, but definitely back in the day, so many professional wrestling characters who were just like annoying rich guys. Like Ric Flair was one of those guys. There was a guy whose like name was like literally like something the millionaire. Like it was like a really common thing just to like dress up a dude in like a gold and white suit and like just have him just be a rich guy with like annoying rich guy stuff. And I would love to play the tag team that just consistently anytime somebody like does that, we just come out and literally shoot them out of a trebuchet.
We just try to kidnap Vince McMahon every season. Like that is our one goal, is to get the belt so we can kidnap Vince McMahon and yeet him with the trebuchet.
Like how funny would it be? Like it's a, so like, I know like, you've never seen wrestling, but like there's a specific kind of specialty match where they put a bunch of money in a briefcase and suspend it from the ceiling, and you have to like get on a ladder to like pull it down, and if you pull it down, you win.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for like one of those matches to be happening that like we are not a part of, and then running out, being like, no.
Whoever gets the money, we run in at the last second, tackle them, and throw them into the trebuchet.
Yeah,
Launch them into the crowd,
and just like, and just like burn the money. Like I don't know, like, like there is no winner. I think you could get a trebuchet that was like strong enough to like lift a person, but small enough that like they wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, just throw them like 12 feet. You have to position it so that it's outside of the rink, and that no matter who is in it, it would just throw them into the rink. I think is the way it would have to go.
Well, I think you can't throw them. Like I just don't think you could get like safely the power to do it. I think you just get something that just like really just does like a full like 180 arc, but we just position it in front of like a table.
Okay, yeah. So just
slams you into like a table.
I'm here for it.
I think it'd be great. It would be a feat of engineering. No like amateur operation would be cool with that, and I'm sure the insurance would be impossibly high. But if you did it even just once, like just as like a one-time appearance, 2 dudes show up, scream "Yeet the Rich," huck Ric Flair into an announcer's table, and then collapses, and then just run away. I'm here for it. Who doesn't want that?
That sounds great. I would watch wrestling every day if I just thought something like that was going to happen on the next episode. The pay-per-view that.
So that's my number 4. Eat the Rich.
My number 4 is I'm not gonna name it yet. We dress up in ridiculous fancy people outfits from like the 16 or 1700s, and the whole bit is we have a microphone hidden on the stage, and someone has to tackle us before we can finish telling the joke we try to tell, because we're the Aristocrats.
Oh, we're like hyper offensive old timey people.
Yes. Now, so the Aristocrats, the joke, right, is, for those of you that aren't familiar in the audience, which I would hope is nobody, is a joke that is just so terribly offensive that it's not really funny. It's just you say the most offensive and terrible things you can think of. But we dress up as like aristocrats from the 1600s. And we keep trying to get the microphone so we can tell this terribly offensive joke. And right before we're about to say the terribly offensive part, we just get destroyed by whoever else is fighting us, just over and over and over again. And we get to dress up in silly, puffy outfits with big cod pieces. And I just like cod pieces.
I would love to pull my cod piece off and then like bash a guy with it. I think that's the bit. I think that's your special special move. Is just like the cod piece to the face that like knocks somebody out.
Or just you don't even have to take it off. You just nuts. Just jump up, you grab yourself by the ankles, you fly into them.
You throw them in
first.
They're in the turnbuckle, and you're just like bah bah. Yeah, that could be fun.
And these guys, even in the picture that I found of Aristocrats, they have swords, which is probably not allowed in wrestling. I don't know, but
I think it depends on the league.
It would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I do think it would be very funny to like that. Like the bit has to be the microphone just cuts out. Like it has to be like, and then so anyway, there's a brother or sister and their cousin, and they're like, and then it's just like, and you just keep talking. Like you just have to keep telling the joke, but like the microphone is turned off, and then the mic has to cut back on, and that's why we're the Aristocrats, and then you run in.
Hell yeah. I also just like these guys' funny hats. They're just
great hats.
It's a good hat. I don't even know. It's like a beret, but made out of a skunk. Like
that is the backup as well. It's like because you have like, these massive. We just also have a bit where like just full of weapons. We're just like constantly out of these like coats and just like pulling shit out to hit people with
pole arms and
like shitty magicians. Which honestly, I don't know if that's on your list or not. It is not on my list. Shitty magicians.
I wish it was.
I thought about it, but I couldn't find a good bit.
Pulling scarves.
I just think it'd be very funny if I had like one of those like fake like bouquets, and then I like did a thing, and it was a lead pipe. You know what I mean? Like I can like make steel chairs appear out of thin air, and I can smack you with it on the back.
That'd be amazing.
I think it'd be great. Or like have a top hat, and then like a guy smushes it, and I pretend like he's like murdered a bunny. Then he's the jerk. Like then the crowd turns on him. I'm here for it. Like imagine if you pinned a guy, and on like the referee's third like hand slap on the mat, a dove. Like
you put a guy in a chokehold and you pull a rabbit out of his mouth.
His mouth. The amount I mean, wrestling's already scripted. The amount of scripting to be like, all right, hey man, I'm gonna pull a live animal out of your face for my finisher. I need you to know what's gonna happen here. Holy fuck, that's great.
No.
Is this your card? What? Boom! Just like punch him. This is perfect. This is a bonus thing. We've talked about this thing more than my dumb pots and pans thing. We're moving along.
All right. That was my number 4, and a 4.5 from the two of us.
Number 3.
All right, hear me out. What if we were time travelers?
I love time travel.
But one of us is like a weird steampunk time traveler, and the other one is just like the Terminator. So we have like a kind of weird Deadpool Cable relationship. But the bit is, because we're time travelers, we have weapons from across time. So instead of just like steel chairs, you could pull out like weird old-timey stuff to hit people with, and also weird futuristic stuff.
It's like a cuckoo clock at one point, and then like some ridiculous laser rifle type thing that I end up just hitting someone with instead of shooting it. Because
like I'm in a fun top hat, you're in like a leather jacket and sunglasses. We reach under the ring, and we pull out a grandfather clock, and we run across and clothesline somebody with it, and it explodes across the ring. Who doesn't want that?
Amazing.
Imagine,
we reach under.
No, okay, so like we do that, right? And there's all this old timey shit, and like people start putting the bit together. Then one of us pulls out a laser gun. And then the other guy's like, it might be real, I don't know. He has to just stand there, then you pull the trigger, and it just goes like, bram, 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 and it doesn't do anything.
We can also use this to bring back Pots and Pans bot, because we can like summon him out of a portal as our robot companion.
If we need to build a weird pseudo-futurist NWA type society with Pots and Pans robots and the time travelers,
it's a whole universe that we're going to invent for our wrestling.
Like, yeah, like you're losing your tag team match and like one of us pulls out and like pushes a button, then like, by God, it's the pots and pans robot, and he like runs down the runway to like come save us because we summoned him with our red button.
The Clockwork Steampunk guy definitely has to pull like a Jack in the Box out of his coat at some point, and he and then it springs open, and a small Clockwork man springs out of a spring with a small Clockwork chair, and just bonk, and then it pulls back in. Like,
I feel like the our shitty magicians would have to like be a part of that.
oh, for sure. This is all one. We're gonna have to get like 10 other people to agree to do this with us.
No, it's only us.
It's just us.
Just quick changes. It's just new costumes.
This could totally be a show at Fringe.
Holy shit. Oh man. I know for a fact you can take professional wrestling classes like as an adult and like kind of learn like if we can learn just enough to where we can like get the fights where they need to be and just script like a 45-minute Fringe show that's about really dumb professional wrestling. Does this just replace our pinball dart comedy? Is this the new
I think so. Or we do one year, one the next year, or we just do both. We can get multiple time slots. I'll take the week off.
We'd have to anyway if we were gonna do like a real Fringe show.
Yeah.
Improv, you just show up in a black shirt, you're ready. When there's actually like scripts and costumes and sets and things, you have to actually be around longer than just your show.
I'm down for this. I know a guy who does he does announcing for local wrestling. I don't know how we put together a rink. I'm sure between one of the two of us we can figure it out.
Well, I mean, if it, it's Fringe. We wouldn't have enough space for a full rink. It'd have to be like, we have to find a way to like stage it, make it implied that it's there.
I think it's only fun though if we actually do the cool wrestling moves.
Oh no, we do the cool wrestling moves. We have to figure out how like the floor would work, but I don't think we're gonna fit a full.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We get 2 ropes though, so that way we can still do the like run back and forth thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm here for it. This was a good one. This is a good number 3.
Time travel is always good.
My number 3 is just us, but as Swedes, but not good Swedes. We just do shitty Swedish accents and color our hair blonde.
Are you sure you've never seen wrestling? Because offensive stereotypes were the bread and butter of 80s WWF.
But yeah, we can just make our way through all the stereotypes we can do that aren't offensive. So we do Swedish, we do British, we 100% do French at some point. Like have to do the French, and we just smack people with baguettes while doing terrible French accents with small mustaches, smoking cigarettes. Oh, sacre bleu.
I imagine if
we pull a baguette out of like a shirt and just beat somebody with it.
A comically large baguette.
Yeah. We just keep coming out from underneath a table where we've got the props hidden with a different flag around our backs, and like it's like the Swedish flag. The Swedish flag, we just run up on the stage, bark, 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 and we sprint back off the other side of the stage. I don't know anything else about Sweden except the Swedish chef.
I'm excited about it. I think that's it. That's all they need. So your number 3 is racism, I guess.
It's not racism.
It's the power of stereotypes. We will
stereotypes that are okay to do. British people, you're allowed to make fun of British people. You're allowed to make fun of French people. You're allowed to make fun of Swedish people, and you're allowed to make fun of Americans. If you want to run out there and just cram cheeseburgers in people's faces, I'm down for that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say playing like an annoying American stereotype, but that's like 80% of current wrestlers.
I don't know much about wrestling, but I'm pretty sure that's every wrestler. That's like their secondary persona.
Yeah.
Except for The Rock. I assume he's just always The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is too famous to keep wrestling, I believe, is his persona. Hey,
that's fair.
Can you come do a thing? He's like, no, I'm Dwayne now. I don't do that.
That's my number 3.
I mean, it'll at least force us to work on our accent work, which I suppose is good.
Oh, German. German's another good one.
Oh
We
yeah,
have to be careful about that one though.
it's gonna,
1950s and onward Germany only.
yeah, yeah. Fun Oktoberfest German, not
Yeah,
not the other one.
German.
Number 2.
So my number 2 is we're just like 80s glam rock guys. I don't have like any more fun bits than that. I just think it'd be fun to hit somebody with an electric guitar.
Any reason for me to wear skin tight leather is something I'm here for.
Like it's a solid This is like legitimately like if we were to actually do this, I think that this is the one that we would do because it would cost us like $20 at a Goodwill.
I have all of these things already except for a guitar.
Yeah, I can get a guitar. Like it's and yeah, like it's an actual like legitimate like we would just be loud. Like you just have to go out and just be like annoying and over the top and yell at people and like yeah. And I feel like we could do that.
Rock?
Yeah.
No right.
Yeah, it you know like we would have our special move of like the crowd surf or something, and we would like throw somebody off of a belt buckle and then like or a turnbuckle, not a belt buckle, and like hold them over both of our heads and go like this, and then like drop them and walk away, and then go like you know, like it would just be doing a lot of this before like hitting somebody, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think it would work.
I think it's a good time, yeah.
And you would like start headbanging to like get like hyped up, you know, like you lose a little bit, then you punch the guy. And then you start like doing this thing, and then like the crowd's like, "Oh man, he's getting hype." And then
play a lot of Guns N' Roses. Probably get sued by Axl Rose.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I just think it'd be funny, like if one of us got like knocked out, like in the ring, like fake, and then the other one like had to like shred on the guitar to like bring them back,
yeah.
And then they're like, ah! And then like you hand them the guitar, and they're like, yeah, I don't. We can't play guitar particularly well. We'll have to figure that out.
We'll just have it pre-recorded to play as we pretend we're in the ring. They're not going to be able to have us they're not going to be able to pick up us playing the guitar anyway.
I suppose that's fair. Especially because it's probably a guitar we would have hit somebody with as well, so it's already broken. Yeah. I think it's definitely more reserved than our other ones. But
yeah,
I think it works. I think it's definitely doable.
It's a good number 2. My number 2 is kaiju and or just dinosaurs in general. Not sure which one's better than the other, but I've got a rubber picture, one of the rubber Godzilla outfits here. And then I've got a man that's just really happy to be in the dinosaur Halloween costume. I think either one.
That guy's having a great time.
He looks so happy. It's why I picked that picture. I mean, honestly, if I had a dinosaur costume like that, I'd wear it every day. I work from home now, so who's going to stop me from being a whatever dinosaur that is, a velociraptor in my own house?
The Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus in my own house. All right. So. You're not going to tell me not to be.
They killed Newman in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. But yeah, I think dressing up in big rubber kaiju suits and fighting people would be hilarious. We could be different ones. You could mount like 2 rubber heads and be like a King Ghidorah and rip off. Of course, we couldn't actually be King Ghidorah. We could be like Frogzilla, though. I think Frogzilla would be a good one.
Yeah, it would just be renaming like buying wholesale Godzilla costumes and then just being like, no, that's not Godzilla. That's he's got a red stripe on him. He's different.
We could go as the Battletoads. Just do a video game ripoff. That'd be fun. Dress up as frogs. What is the ripoff? What is a ripoff of Battletoads? If you do a ripoff of Battletoads, which is a ripoff of Ninja Turtles, what's another amphibious?
Well, I mean, we just end up on Street Sharks, so we have to rip off Street Sharks next. So then we get to
what are those creatures at Mudkip? Axolotls. We could be the angsty axolotls.
We gotta dress up like emo kids that are also like axolotls.
No, attack axolotls. There we go.
I don't know what that looks like, but okay.
You're gonna tell me that you're able to easily imagine Street Sharks if you hadn't seen that TV show, but attack axolotls is hard for you?
I tell you what, I know way more about what sharks look like than I do axolotls outside of
It
like,
looks like a mudkip.
oh, well, yeah, I was gonna say the one Pokemon that they based on them. This almost made my list.
Shaped like a friend, Danny. That's what an axolotl is.
It feels like the opposite of the vibe we're going for. We have to fight people.
That's true. You got me on that one.
This almost made my list, actually. The only reason it did not make my list is because there's an entire like league of kaiju fighting where they put like
Really?
yeah, no, like they do this and they put like little buildings in the ring that they stomp on. So
That's so cool.
This is a real thing. So we would have to take one of our other ideas and just apply it to being kaiju. Like we would have to be time traveling Godzillas.
That sounds amazing. I'm pretty sure that's probably a Godzilla movie plot, though. I don't know. I haven't seen all of them, but it sounds like it should be one.
I mean, probably. I mean, Godzilla doesn't so much time travel as much as like is immortal. So like he's just sort of around whenever they need to be around. But a Godzilla with like a monocle and a leather top hat and like a weird like steampunk, I don't know, chest thing, fighting Mothra or whatever.
Instead of Mechagodzilla, you've got Clockwork Godzilla.
Clockwork Godzilla. Ah.
That was my number 2.
Number 1.
So my number 1, I think is the best idea I had. I think that it is not only something that we could do, I think that it's practical, and it also will guarantee us more tag team victories than any of our other ideas. And that is stacking people up in a trench coat.
Yes.
So this way, there's 4 of us. So we get 2 friends. I've
always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to stack another person on top of me in a trench coat and just go places.
Yeah, we just do that. And then you fight as 2 people, and then when things start to get rough, you can roll out, and now there's 4 of you. And then you can fight. I would love to watch a wrestling match where like they do the thing where they like distract the ref. And then everybody jumps out of their trench coat and just like gangs up on a dude, and then like somehow scrambles back to get back to 2 dudes on top of each other. So it looks like nothing happened. I would do anything for that scene. That's the funniest thing I could ever imagine to see in a wrestling ring. But it's perfect. You double the amount of people, but they're hidden in a trench coat. They're just gonna think you're 2 really tall guys, when in reality you're 4 just like normal tall guys.
4 normal dudes doing bro stuff.
Yeah. I just think it'd be funny if like 2 hands came out from like inside the thing to like do the punch.
Yeah, it'd be like the scene from Hitchhiker's Guide where it's pop pop pop. The third line. Through the old 3 kobolds in a trench coat maneuver.
Could you imagine that body in a swimsuit? I literally cannot.
I literally cannot. It's probably my favorite bit from that whole show. It's full of good bits. And my number 1 is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because it's a great theme in general. There's a whole book about how great of a theme that is, right? And then also, one of us gets to dress up as a fancy lad with a top hat and like nice Englishman's clothes from like 1890 or whatever. And then the other of us gets to dress up as like a street urchin man with a big mouth and unruly hair, which is just what I look like normally. So not really much for me to do there. But you're just like a top hat away from having this ready to go. You've already got a trench coat.
That is true. I do have a duster. I do feel like I would have to shave, unfortunately. I'd have to lose the beard to pull off.
Yeah.
The guy.
That's true. I didn't think about that. But yeah, just you rock out in a trench coat, right? And then when you like start to lose, you reach in, you grab a potion out of your pocket and you drink it and you dive under the stage, and then I come out just wearing like boxers, probably. Like just but like old-timey boxers somehow. And just lubed up, covered in butter, screaming.
Why are you covered in butter? I haven't read this book in a long time. I don't remember
There's the famous scene where he coats himself in butter and he attacks that bus full of children. Pretty sure.
You've confused this with some kind of terrifying slash fic. It's just some weird Sonic the Hedgehog fanfic you found that.
Hey man, no reason to bring that up here now. So here I was at work and I was talking to somebody. I was talking to people at work and I said something and I don't remember what I said at this point. But they were like, "Oh no, I remember I was talking about because I have a Google Home," and they're like, "I can't believe you have a Google Home. Like, the type of stuff people can track with those." I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. What are they gonna? They're gonna hear me say that I don't like the government. They're gonna send a SWAT team after me. Fine, let them come. The only thing they're gonna run into is me, butt naked, covered in mayonnaise. They might be able to take me down, but they're never gonna tell anybody they did or how."
Is that why you have that big tub of mayonnaise?
That's why I keep the big tub of mayonnaise around.
It's got "just in case" written in Sharpie across it.
It's most preppers and most people that consider themselves preppers and government and are afraid of the government, they have like bug out bags and guns. I just have a big jar of mayonnaise because I don't care if they catch me, Danny, but I don't want Officer Jones going home and talking about how he stopped the man who said he hated the president. I want him to go home and have to explain to his wife why he stinks of bad mayonnaise. It's like, I don't want to talk about it.
It might work. They might just be like, you know what? That one,
Fine.
we're letting him go. I'm not doing that. Mayonnaise guy gets to walk free.
Well, he really just, his staunch beliefs just captured the hearts of all of us.
Yeah, I mean, really, Mayonnaise guy is his own wrestler. Like, truthfully, comes out
Covered in mayonnaise.
Oh god, what an awful finishing move! Just like holding a man down and dumping several gallons of mayonnaise on him. That'll be the next one. 5 wrestling finisher moves. Oh man.
So, yeah, sorry for that non sequitur about mayonnaise man.
Hey, that's what we're. It's just a bonus thing.
Yeah.
We got a mayonnaise man. We got a ketchup man. We'll call special sauce. Will be the name.
Special sauce. There we go.
That's all it is.
My girlfriend suggested we do peanut butter and jelly, and our move be the sandwich where we just sprint at people and slam into them at the same time. Which is just an excuse to cover myself in peanut butter, really. And if they're allergic, they might die, which is a double special move.
That is the true fear. Is I would love for The Rock to come out very confident and then be like, "Oh no, I'm allergic to peanuts." No. Oh man, this has been really technically 7 things, possibly even more. I have lost count.
I mean, they were all tag teams, so it's technically been at least 10.
Yeah, at least
yeah,
upwards of 14 things. Truly, the most bang for your buck in an episode that we've done so far. Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for joining. Appreciate it as always.